This is the Seahawkers podcast, live and uncatfished. I'm Brandon Schultz of the Military Seahawkers, and we are reacting to the Seahawks 27-23 win over the Los Angeles Rams junior varsity team. It still feels good either way. I'm joined by my good buddy, Clinton Bonner. Clinton, how you feeling, man?
I am feeling so good, Brandon. Cracking. It's called a McLighty. You can't see it, but trust me, it's called a McLighty. It's Mick Wonderful, and that is a friggin' McW for our team. The big chip, the thing Gino can't do. He can't do it. Well, guess what, Brandon? He freaking went and did it. I don't care that it was a JV team. We had to go into SoFi and get the W, and we did. SOS saved our season. Gino.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, I guess, to my commentary, it is the Rams junior varsity team on offense. In terms of the defense, it was minus Aaron Donald, and I think that maybe even things out a little bit for our Seahawks defense to be taking on that struggling Rams offense. And it didn't need to be this close. It didn't need to be this close, but yes, Geno Smith gets the stat. Our executive producer, Ryan, coming in with the $9.99 super chat. Gino gets the stat. Anyone see if Russ got a stat today? Yes, we did see if Russ got a stat, and the answer is no, he did not. Geno Smith goes for 367 yards on 28 attempts, or 39 attempts, 28 completions, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That shouldn't have been an interception because the refs were just trying to make it a close game, I suppose. And they felt bad for Bobby Wagner not being a member of the Seahawks anymore. But Seattle, you get the win minus some running back injuries. DJ Dallas just fighting through an injury toward the end of the game. And oh man, yes, DK Metcalf in the background, the DK Kaiju coming through for the Seahawks. Let's see what DK had for in terms of yards.
Monster game.
8 catches for and 8 targets, so perfect on his targets to catch ratio. 127 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyler Lockett actually finished the day as the leading receiver, 9 receptions, 128 yards, just 1 yard and 1 reception ahead of DK. But it felt like a fitting end to really highlight DK with that touchdown, that game-winning touchdown catch from Geno.
Yeah, just battling Ramsey. That's just become this epic thing they now do, right? They don't like each other. And for all the the old school folks who enjoy some good sports hate, right? It's okay. Not even okay to sports hate. I think it's great to sports hate. We don't need hate in the regular parts of our world, but that's why we have sports. It's for the passion. It's for the fantasy, right? And we can have this luscious sports hate. And watching DK just go monster squad on them, man. 8 for 8. Didn't realize that. And again, back to Geno. Hey, real quick, Brandon. I do want to park 1 second on that interception.
Okay.
In what world is that an interception? Like, how is he not down with the ball, rolling over, tackled? Like, if that's the end zone, is that not a touchdown? Like, I don't get the freaking rules, man. I don't know if you see it differently.
It's because the way they saw it on the field was that it was never controlled by, was it Jones or was it Dallas?
It was Jones. It was Jones. Jones had some.
They felt like he never had control over it, even though, I mean, if you pause it right at the moment where he has the football, his knee on the ground, and Bobby Wagner doesn't have the football, it's just somehow after Bobby rolls over him and then ends up with the football that it's suddenly his because the ball never touched the ground. It was a ridiculous call, but that's the way they called it on the field. So that's the way it ends up going for the Rams. And Jason Turner coming in. DK Metcalf's touchdown was the best play of the game as Ramsey was riding DK like a backpack.
Yeah, he was. It wasn't like Ramsey got burnt and didn't matter. That's, there's a lot of DK. I tweeted it last week. It was like, DK is not this, DK is not that. Well, maybe Justin Jefferson, he's not, but who cares? Like, he's our dude. He's locked up. He is our enforcer, our big guy. And I don't care that we played a banged up Rams team. This is the NFL. Had to get the win. And in the biggest moments, dude came through along with Gino, right? I mean, 360 something yards on a day where we could not run the ball again. Just to rotate it a little bit too, the offensive line was like struggle bus for a bit, but I have to give a little credit. It seems like they kind of got their act together in the fourth act, if you will. They buttoned it up when they had to. A little bit of Geno escapeology for sure. Like he did some great things, and with that, it did feel like the offensive line came through at the end, and then our defensive line stepped up to get the big freaking sack. We actually tilted it the other way, and it's been a little bit since we've done that, Brandon. So I'm all smiles, man.
Right when it needed to happen.
Exactly.
I think they definitely came through when they needed to. Barry, aka Van T, in with the $9.99 super chat. I have so much. I have to restrain myself for the outs this week when it comes to 3 and 3 out. All in all, we won.
Yeah, yes. This is kind of we will get to 3 and 3 out later this week, and that's kind of one of the reasons that show exists, because it'll be there's stuff to pick through, without a doubt. That was frustrating and lumpy, but we just beat the Rams. Suck it, McVay. Suck it, Ramsey. The entire thing. Wagner, nice game. You played well, and you lost, and your team's 3-9.
Better than well. Bobby Wagner was on fire in this
game. He played a nice game.
Car coming in. Sports hate is fine when you're not injuring our last running back on the field. That one didn't look good with the celebration coming in after that big hit. But yeah, that was unfortunate. I think it was because Jones was dropping the football that his head was going down the way it was.
Yep.
And just I thought it was appropriate that they didn't eject him, because we've seen a lot of those lately where they eject a player for coming in helmet first. Now the announcers were ridiculous, saying that it wasn't a helmet to helmet hit because helmet. I didn't quite understand why helmet to helmet doesn't count if it's the side of a helmet. I feel like that's also. The side of the helmet is also called the helmet, right?
Part of it's last I checked, Brandon, the side of the helmet where they put the logo and the emblem and the face mask wraps around
part of the helmet?
Is still part of the helmet. Yeah. So that was a nuance I hadn't heard quite yet, so that was, but I do want to agree with you real quick. I am glad he wasn't ejected, because it's a hard hit. Yes, he hits the helmet a little bit, but Jones drops the ball before he gets contacted, and he's lowering his head to go try and retrieve it as it's falling to the earth.
Yeah.
I get it. I guess so. I'm actually happy they didn't eject.
It's a penalty, but
yes, I think they actually called it. Hey, tip the cap for the refs on that one. I think they actually called it perfectly, which I won't say too often, but I will in that case.
Amy Holmes, one of our channel members here on YouTube, coming through with the $4.99 super chat. DJ and Goodwin coming back in after injury because we needed it. This team is tough. And yeah, Goodwin to help get the ball down inside the 10 on a catch. He finishes the day with just that one catch for 17 yards, but he almost had the end zone catch. That was some good defense. I suppose to give some credit to the Rams there. I thought he'd have that catch.
Great pass. He gets his hands on it, but I mean, like, literally it looked like a I'm old, so WWF/WWE move where they were just kind of like DDTing his face to the ground. He comes down on his hand. So I think nearly impossible to hold on to that unless you're like Justin Jefferson, because he does stupid things. But it's when you see Goodwin take these hits and his history of injury, you kind of understand why Lockett has done what he's doing, why he's done what he's done, and over the last few years, it's just making a little bit more of like, hey, I want to play the entire year and I want to play well next year. So it
was the perfect balance though for Lockett in this game. On the touchdown, he made the nice jump cut inside as the defensive back was coming over. He picked up the tough first down, which was late in the game. So yeah, we had some nice tough moments from Lockett in this too. And
we did. He's savvy, right? He still didn't take huge hits. He was just elusive, and then he could get the extra yards in the way that a dude like him could go get those extra yards. And then he still gets down, doesn't take the giant hit. But it was, hey man, this was, we talked about it all week long, right? We were like, hey, we're nervous. We don't know why we're nervous, but we are. And we're pretty darn sure that McVay will scheme things up in a way that keeps this very close, and it's Seahawks versus Rams, and it's on the road. Frankly, it played out exactly like that. There was some frustrating stuff, for sure. Like Brandon, are we ever going to be able to stop the run? Like, can we stop the run on this team? Can't even run the ball very well, right?
Ooh,
They're
yeah.
they're
Well,
they're
it was
banged up.
showing Cam Akers ranked toward the bottom of the league in
Right.
yards per attempt, right? Along with Leonard Fournette, who we also allowed to just run up on this team. So yeah,
Yeah.
still, and I got concerned as the Rams toward the end of the game went over that 145-yard threshold.
Yep.
I think they even went into the territory where the Seahawks have lost every single game, giving up 160 plus yards. So not real great. Ryan making a good mention here that they did a good job helping the O-line in the fourth. You saw a lot of tight ends staying into block. Saw some running backs, even busted up running backs with Dallas staying into block.
Well, the return of the 13 personnel and different formations of it, or different uses of 13 personnel. There was like kind of a half pistol personnel. I would call it that, where like you got the halfback and then the tight end flanked, and then not the other tight end, but then they had two tight ends in the line. And then we went back to that, just shifting over two tight ends. And then it's just Disley, whatever the order was, like, Disley, Parkins, and Fant. We saw that again. And lo and behold, if that's our versioning of max protect, then great. Oh, something's buzzing on ESPN. Hold on one sec. Sorry, let me kill that. It's ESPN.com. I like the game cast. It's A-okay. And then there's
pop-ups every time.
Audio just turns on. It just turns on. It's like, I know I should buy Gillette razors ESPN. I've been seeing it for 35 freaking years. I get it.
CBS box scores where you want to go.
Okay, thank you. Now now I'm learned.
But the audience too.
Yeah, yes, and really nice to see the return of 13 personnel. It definitely helped down the stretch. We got tighter. And how many sacks did we end up with, Brandon? Was it 3 or 4? Oh, 3 or 4. I forget. I know Nwosu had 2.
One of those numbers.
Yeah, I know Nwosu had 2. I forget. To be honest, I forget the rest.
I was still on the other stats I was trying to cover, and you're trying to jump ahead to sacks. 4 sacks. Each team had 4.
Okay. And the Rams had 3 in the first half, I believe, because they got that last one when we had the ball with 55 seconds left, and the guy from Brown, who is replacing Aaron Donald, got his second sack of the freaking game. That was awesome.
Did I not bring up Brown's name when we talked about some of the preview in the What If show? I feel like I touched on that.
Well, it's not Brown. Oh, you mean like his name's Hocht or something like that, right? Hoecht. No, I'm talking about the dude Hocht. Hoecht. He's from the Brown University.
Oh, that guy.
He's from Brown.
Double Browns on the right side there.
Yeah, it was a Brown out, dude. Like, I mean, they replace Aaron Donald, and we're still getting walked back. It's like, come on, we're getting walked back.
I was not real happy with Cross a couple times in this game, but I was happy with our other rookie, Tariq Woolen. As Wayne Fort says, T. Woolen equals Rookie of the Year. Comes up with his 6th interception of the season. And yeah, there was a couple, you know what? He probably could have had 3 in this game alone, where he was batting down passes rather than getting both. If he would have gotten both hands up on a couple of different plays, he probably makes 3 picks in this game. But instead, I'm not going to be real picky. He got 1.
Yeah. But that play he made down the sideline, where you could see where I think it's Tutu Atwell, which pains me to see how what he was and what I've been wanting of D. Eskridge. I'm like, and he was drafted the next pick, and he was washed out, but now he's there and he's good. Very, very painful to me.
He's not. He's okay,
but it's still painful, Brandon. Still painful to me to see him being effective and like used and fast. Yeah. And with that, Atwell gets behind Woolen, and then you see Woolen he starts to go for like what he thinks he may be able to get it with 2 hands, and then he, in air, realizes I can't get my right hand on it. So then he just he gets rid of the right hand and just goes full extension left hand and bats it down. It's like, what a pro freaking play in midstream to be like, all right, can't go for the glory one. I got the knockdown. I'll take it. And then live to play another day, and wag his finger. That's just, as opposed to going up with 2 hands and going right just over the tips, and Tutu Atwell's gone. Right. So just little things like that is screaming to me how advanced Woolen is already in 12 games of a career. It's insane.
Jeremy, going back and just to comment once again on the amount of time that they were giving Geno toward the end of the game by bringing in the extra tight ends.
Yep.
And yes, they were giving him enough time in the pocket that he could really deliver that win that we've been calling for. We wanted to see the stat by Geno, and we finally got it. And thanks to Jeremy Green for the $4.99 super chat. Yes, give Geno some time and he'll make you pay.
Thank you, Jeremy. He's really Geno's really damn good. It's just like, this is, again, we're 7-5, we're 12 games into the year. He did a lot of things. Remember like in the preseason, it was like, well, he's this, he's not very good, and he doesn't really have a big arm. That was also part of it. Then he won the job, and then it was like a week or two in, like, he doesn't really have a big arm. Now he's throwing like off his back foot, or like just kind of solid feet, because he's got a dude about to crash on him. All arm. Can't even get his leg. That was the other thing. Remember that first couple of weeks? If he doesn't get his legs into it, he doesn't have the ability for this, and this. How many times today, Brandon, if you just go back, could you count him throwing flat-footed because he had no damn time to step up, and still getting it 12, 15 yards on a beeline today downfield? Like, do you remember how many times you might have seen that? Because I have at least a goosey gander.
Yeah, it's at least 3 or 4, right?
Had to be. Yeah. Just, getting crashed down on the left-hand side, is about to take a hit, and then he's zipping it. And typically that was like Lockett sitting down, or Goodwin, or it was just impressive.
It's just really, when you say that, then I have the flashbacks to him getting hit and the ball going forward almost 10 yards on what I thought it was a fumble after seeing the replay, but I can't figure out the physics of how that play worked, of it being a forward pass 10 yards, but being a fumble. And I can't figure out how that happened. I think we need a physics expert to come in and show us the math on that play, because I don't believe my eyes.
Yeah. I don't know how all the momentum transfer works in that scenario, because clearly the hand was not going forward. The ball that was definitely a fumble. Absolutely. And yet the ball like shot out of it. I don't know how physics works either, but it was a bit trippy. Yeah, man, I'm heading out to freaking Seattle, right? So I'm heading out there. I get on a plane to go to Michigan on Wednesday. I'll be landing Sunday morning. This saved my entire trip. This saved everything for me, Brandon. And I'm so fired up that I get to get out there now after this huge W. We needed this win so freaking badly to break this 2-game streak. We didn't get very lucky with the Commanders and Giants. I mean, in my brain, that's the worst case scenario, right? That tie is stupid bad for us. Is that right?
There's still so many games left to go. It could end up working out well for us. It maybe wasn't the best thing in the moment. I have no idea how all the tiebreaker scenarios are going to work out when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Maybe it works out well.
Much like the ball flying forward 20 yards in a fumble. I can't do the math right now either. So who else do you think, stood out or played well, or opposite? What do you think?
Well, we can go back to DK as Carly comes in the chat. DK taunting Ramsey is still so funny.
I love, when he went across the line in motion.
Yeah, he's like, you come with me? I'm going this way. You want to come?
Yeah, that's that sports hate percolating, right? Like, that's two dudes who genuinely do not like each other, at least on the field, probably respect the crap of each other off the field, on the field, but when they're off the field. But that was really kind of, I don't remember seeing that, a wide receiver being like, dude, you got me, come on over, like backyard taunting.
Then he gets the penalty on the following play for whatever reason, who knows?
He looked like he stuck his face in Ramsey's face for like a hot second and kind of gave him a little bit of a bump to the grill. That's what I saw. But
yeah, that was what I saw too. I just didn't think it was penalty worthy.
Yeah, I mean, very likely just the refs wanting to trying to calm that down before something got out of hand, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, so both of them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I'd come through with the chat here saying, "Nice work on the prediction, Clinton." Did you predict this exact score, or were you really close?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. if I had this exactly right. I just remember that I called this kind of panicky game. So I think I was somewhere in this line 20. You know what? Holy crap! What was the final score? 24-20.
It was, I have it here, 27-23.
Oh, okay. I think I
Oh,
called
24-20. Oh, it's still
24-20.
4-point spread.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I think that was but I did also, my wish was Geno 3 touchdowns. So that
And you
came through and came true. So I'm feeling pretty good about that prediction.
I don't think my wish came through. I was not real happy with Bruce Irvin in this particular game, especially on the play where it was 4th and 2.
Yeah, he's so far washed inside that particular play.
Yes, he was the guy who should have been on the edge to help contain the quarterback if he sneaks out to the left.
He was
And he
not
was,
there.
yeah, he was following Cam Akers clear across the field.
Yeah. I mean, clearly just he was selling out to crash down on Akers. And if Akers got the ball, he would have made the hero play stop. He would have. With that, naked boot and away Wolford goes, right?
Yeah.
So
which they ran, I think 40% of the game was naked boot to one side or the other, right?
Yep. Which is, again, that's why leading up to the week, I'm like, McVay is not a stupid coach. We may not like his haircut and his shirts and his attitude, but he's not a stupid coach. He's not a stupid man. He knows how to scheme. So it was nearly predictable that they were going to do these things. It was just nice again that when we needed it most, we were able to turn up the heat. And whether that was like, I think unsung player, I feel like Shelby Harris had a couple of, I like Harris because he could be like kind of in and out of consciousness, if you will, if you let me vibe on this for a second. And then he'll come up with that big play. He got his mitts on one in a big moment this game. He just kind of peaks at these moments where you're like, damn, we needed a play. And Shelby Harris he did it. So it was kind of cool.
There you go. See, Phil has the receipts. 4-point win. Geno 3 touchdowns. There you go.
Nice. I shall extend my lead. I'm very proud of that.
Jeremy Green coming in and saying, I have to say, I kind of don't like when Barton makes a good play because I don't want him to fool the team into thinking that he's good. But we got to see Cody Barton with the game-sealing interception going down. I wanted to see him take it to the house. That would have been my preference, just to get, a 10-point double-digit victory. It felt right to me that would happen, but I guess he does the smart thing and just goes down so they can take a knee and get out of there.
Yes, he is. He did. And I hate to break it to people. Cody Barton's he's not that bad. He's not that bad. And I know last week I kind of took some heat because I gave him an in, and I was like, I thought he was one of the more solid guys out there. I stand by it. I rewatching that game, like he's not that bad. And I realized, it's tough when you go replace Bobby Wagner and then Wagner does what he did today, right? This was Wagner's Super Bowl, and he played he reminded everybody in the league, and then of course in the PNW, like just how special he was. This was kind of perfect in that way, right? Bobby gets his. He could show the world, like, get the gold jacket ready. That's inevitable anyway. He could get hey, you should have kept me around. Clearly, right? He wins that argument, but we win the game. That's a pretty perfect thing because I don't think anybody has like the hatred that some have for like Russell at this point, right? It's just like everybody loves Wagner. He's still the friggin' man.
Yeah, he's still Bobby Wagner, a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he didn't want to leave. We heard that from him, and so I don't think, I know I saw Amy in the chat saying that when he's here in week 18, she's going to be giving him a standing ovation. And yeah, I feel that way too. You see, I think if Russ, though, I think you'd see some of the same love from the teammates before the game as they're showing with Bobby Wagner, as well as all the former teammates coming over to Bobby. And that was kind of cool. But Jeremy Green asking, how do you become a YouTube member? Yeah, if you're watching live on YouTube, please be sure and give us a thumbs up as you're watching. I know we've got 88, almost 90 people in here. So awesome. Give us a thumbs up, like the video. And yeah, if you want to join, I think there's a join button on there, and you can get unique badges. Well, they'll be unique, I think, when I add in more unique badges. But yeah, we'll have some other things like different emojis that you can chat with and that sort of thing. But for now, if you want to join, hit the join button.
Yep, hit the join and that's great. And thank you so much, Jeremy. And like the subscribe and the bell. If you don't want to join another thing, and I get that you could be, but subscribing and the bell equals awesome. And then every single time we do go live, you'll know it. Or we do premieres. We do a lot of different premieres too, where we We schedule them in advance. Like the PNW Prop Stars, we've been putting out like 10:15 Eastern every Saturday morning, and it premieres at that time. So you can wake up and have it right there. You have your coffee and get your Seahawks takes to win some money, because once again, we'll cover that in a different show, but yeah, did okay. I went 2 for 3 with the major bets, and I think Wilson did also. I haven't checked in on what Adam did, but definitely overall, I think we made more than we lost if you took every single one of our bets.
All right. Well, look forward to PNW Prop Stars. You guys will cover it there. Looking at the box score for this game, time of possession for the Seahawks, they led in time of possession 30 minutes, 53 seconds to the Rams 29:07. So relatively even.
That's
First
close.
downs on the day, 25 for the Seahawks, 20 for the Rams. Just 5 rushing first downs for Seattle, 18 passing. 2 were due to penalty. 5 of 10 on third down conversions, and for the Rams, 4 of 12
nice
down conversions.
Well, that's how you win a ball game. Not bad at all there. 5 for 10. Take that every 50%. You'll take it pretty much every single week. That's solid. I was pissed from Jump Street, Brandon, when we won the coin toss and deferred again. We're 5-1 when we get the ball. It's just at some point, and this defense isn't very good. So we punt, we kick the ball off. We erase 5 minutes of time that our offense, which is the better side of the ball, could be on the field, and we're down 7-0. And I know it's not going to get through Pete's head, so I know I'm screaming into the void with this thing. But we're 5-1 when we get the ball first. At what point do you just look at the stats and be like, this is a Geno team, this is DK, it's Lockett, it's Fant. This is an offensive team. Let's throttle an underperforming team and put pressure on them. No. We do the exact opposite and put ourselves behind the 7-0. Good thing we have friggin' Geno and team, because we able to get back and, just at least get back to even fairly quickly. But I'm done with deferring, man. I just think it's a stupid tactic for this team this year. I'm not never defer when you have a good defense. We don't have a good defense. Stop deferring.
I thought we were going to be in the position that I'd be able to defend it, because they got the ball coming out of the half. They were moving the ball well down the field, and then they turned it over.
Yes.
In that first drive coming out of halftime, and gave it back to the Rams. And then your advantage now is essentially gone.
And we had the ball with 55 seconds left with the lead in the first half, right? So we had a chance to not the lead, right? We were down the 10-7 at that point, or whatever it was. But so we had the ball with 55 seconds left. So we had a chance to at least go get 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we take a bad sack, and then we end up basically kneeling it out for the most part. That's actually where DJ Dallas gets hurt at the very end of the half, when he has a nice run and gets banged up. It was tantamount to a kneel down, because they just had to stay like alive enough until it eclipsed the clock, so they could just walk off the field, basically.
Yeah, they still had the lead going into the half. It was 14-13.
Oh, 14-13. Okay, so they had a chance to tack on 3 there. So it was still working, and I'm not so thick I can't admit that. I just hate it. I just think at some point, let's put it this way, right? The Panthers game's coming up. We'll talk about that a lot. Great. I'm not overlooking past that. When we play the 49ers, we have got to freaking put pressure on them. And pressure is take the early lead and try to get them out of what they do. We'll see if we adjust to it. I'm not holding out hope. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm not real. I don't know.
Doesn't bug you as it bugs me.
I also got this weird pop in my ear, and I wasn't even sure if you were going to hear me when I started talking. So I'm just glad that it worked out. So,
well, I'm glad you're not deaf. There's that. There's that.
Gordon stuff. I'll be in the Flathead next week. Where do I go to watch? Let's see. Buffalo Wild Wings will always have the games on. Moose's is a fun place to go. It's not the best place for games, but if you want a good local place, go to Fat Boys in Kalispell. That's the best place to watch.
Oh, nice. I was about to ask, what is Flathead? So I think I just got my answer.
Yes, there. Flathead is the county that I reside in.
Oh, awesome. Hey, quick question for you, Brandon.
Yeah.
Who is our safety Tabor, number 39? I'm a Seahawks fan. I think a pretty decent one. Who's that? Who's number 39? Tabor?
Yeah, he had a nice pass. Was it a pass breakup officially where he was, at least it was in coverage in the end zone.
Back in the end zone. Yeah.
I'd at least heard the name. I don't think I had heard the name of Tony Jones though coming into this game, and so when we got down to our fourth string running back, I wasn't too excited.
I knew the name Tony Jones. I did not know that he took.
We have each other covered then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, two ships passing on the idiocy. Perfect. But I didn't know that he also took Chris Carson's number, and I was like, "Ooh, 30." I was like, "Oh, that looks a little funky." But such is life. That happens. And then one other player I would love to at least get your opinion on about like his efficacy was Trey Brown. We saw more Trey Brown this game, and what'd you think?
Yeah, it seemed like they maybe rotated between series with Brown and Michael Jackson, and I'm good with that to see where that competition comes out. To me, I didn't come away with a feeling that one was over another. Yeah, I still need to see more, I think, but it's nice to see Brown playing his way in after being out for so much time.
I want to rewatch, and I will. My first interpretation of Trey Brown was that he looked kind of like where he was last year, which is sometimes he'll be a little over aggressive, but he looked pretty sticky. Like even there was another play down the sideline. I think we jumped off sides on that play, so it was a free play down the right hand side, and it's actually a really nice ball. Like he's right there. He's you couldn't defend it type better thing. So I was pleasantly on first blush, pleasantly surprised by Trey. Happy to see him back in with more significant time. And now I do wonder if there's a straight up competition back on between him and MJ, and see how that shakes out over the next few weeks. That'll be, I think, something to watch. Very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And as Phil says, tough to gauge defensive backs with Walford in and no Cup.
Well, yes, for sure. Like no doubt. But Wilford threw accurately, right? I mean, for the most part, he was pretty accurate. There wasn't too many times where he missed wide open dudes or anything like that. It wasn't like it wasn't like a Zach Wilson type thing where he just couldn't hit side of a barn. So yeah, I think Wilford played. You think Wilford's a bad quarterback? And
he's a backup quarterback. I mean, he's not good.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he is. Yeah, I don't want to take away from this win. The win's still too new and too good. So.
I hear you. David Gilbert says usually listen on Spotify, but decided to stop being a freeloader. Nice. LOL. I do pay for Spotify, but I like what you guys do. So yes, David, thanks for coming in and being a channel member. He gets a little badge next to his name. That's how you know.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, David. And yeah, man, of course, the pods are always going to be out there at no cost, right? So if it's Spotify or Google or Apple, you're going to be able to get the stuff. It's the tug to not freeload, the tug to support. And then of course you get the benefits, right? You'll come in and join the Discord, or get the badges out here, or the Facebook Ring of Honor, and get the additional hawker that comes with being a member of the flock. So, but that's awesome, David. Thank you for doing that, dude.
All right. Well, looking at some of the other scores throughout the league now, the Raiders, they did beat the Chargers this week, so maybe we can feel a little bit better, knowing that the Raiders aren't as bad as their record appeared.
And they lost to the Chiefs by a point, right? And they've
lost to a lot of teams by close games.
Exactly. This is they were a snake bitten team. They were not a bad team.
Beat the team that always loses close games, but
yeah, you would like to, right? Also correct. Yeah.
And on our draft pick watch, Denver and Baltimore. Denver takes the loss 10-9, and that was interesting because the Broncos had a 9-3 lead for a lot of that game, and you just felt like the defense was going to be able to close out that game, especially with Lamar Jackson going out early on in that game. And yes, then the curse takes hold toward the end of that game, and the Ravens able to lead a touchdown and a game-winning drive in the final minutes of that game against the Broncos. Yes, the defense that had played so well all day allows a touchdown drive and the go-ahead score with about 40 seconds left in the game. and the Denver
was
offense,
great.
not enough time for them to do anything with. And
Well,
really,
almost. They still kicked the field goal.
they did.
Like
They did have
they
an
attempted a
opportunity
long
to
field
kick a
goal. Yeah.
63-yard field goal
And it was a little
that was
short.
very straight,
Oh
but
yeah.
also 10 yards short.
Yeah. Off the leg, because you watch it like all 22. I'm like, oh no. No. And then you could, I think, kind of hear the announcers. I think they said, oh, that's gonna be short. And then it was.
Yeah.
But that was lovely, right? It was let's ride curse all day long. What's Huntley's first name? Tyler, was
Brett?
it?
I want to say
No.
Brett. No, I'm thinking of Brett Hundley. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, the other guy.
Yeah, I think it's let's see. Let's give the man his props. Tyler. Okay. So
It is
Tyler
Tyler.
Huntley.
You're right.
That's all right. As Adam would say, a blind squirrel, right? So Tyler Huntley
He's okay. I
he's
would rather
good.
have him for a backup than Walford, but
He's a good backup. Remember in the offseason, there was talk about like he would be a guy that we could actually make a trade for, like because Lamar is going to get cemented and sign the deal and yada yada.
don't remind me of the conversations of who's better than Geno.
Yeah. Well, I've got some tape out there that I'm not proud of either. So, but I think we all do. But Huntley gets the drive, they score. Russ just comes up a little short, can't get him into like the 57 or 58 yard range. It's a 63 yarder, doesn't go through. Freaking awesome. Just awesome. I mean, now, by the way, we get to watch the college football playoffs, and you get to watch these top tier dudes. And there's all this rage about, is it Jalen Phillips, the Georgia defensive tackle? I'm pretty sure like he's the dude that's like, hey, if whoever does not take a quarterback, and the Texans may or may not, but if they don't take a quarterback, like whoever's picking next, this guy's kind of emerged as like, that's the guy. He doesn't have like big splashy, he's not, but he's just the unit out there for this Georgia defense. So
whether it's 2, whether it's 3, I know we had the opportunity to go up to get 2 if the Bears could have done what they needed to do and get the win over the Packers, but no, the Bears lose to the Packers. And Virgo Black coming in, letting us know that, see, you don't have to do the math. Virgo's done it for you. The Seahawks are back in the wild card because of the tie between the Commanders and Giants.
Okay, so what I'm reading and processing is if the season ended today type thing, right, where the 7 or the 6 is we
would be the 7, yeah, or the 6,
but whatever it is,
7 right at this point.
We're in is what that boils down to. Yeah. Okay, great, thank you, Virgo. You made my night better. Thank you.
Just in time. Ask the question: will Adams even be back this season? Can't remember. No, he's going to be out for the year. And I know I saw a comment. I think it was Virgo was saying too, the idea of trading both Adams and Diggs. Maybe not trade, but maybe draft heavily with those positions, and just make some really tough competition for those guys coming in next year, because I think you've got the money tied up in both those players for the next year to where it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah,
Jalen Carter, maybe the name that you're trying to.
That's it, Jalen Carter. Thank you. If it's Demos or Demos, awesome. Yes, Jalen Carter. Big. I would say boy, but he ain't a boy. He's a man. He's huge.
Now Geno has a game-winning drive. We will surely put our trust in him and go for the defense with our first-round picks. I hope so. I kind of think that that's the best way forward at this point. Even if you draft a quarterback, that quarterback isn't going to be. Look, the Seahawks, they lucked out with Russell Wilson, coming in, and even they had a Super Bowl caliber defense in 2012, and even in his rookie season, they couldn't get it done. With the way Geno's playing, and I think that his play is sustainable as he's playing right now. If he can get a couple of these game-winning drives and have that kind of confidence to propel him forward, because you're going to be in these tight games come playoff time, I think it makes your chances better.
Brandon, I gotta lay like into this 1,000% harder than you are right now in this moment. Like, number one, since the Atlanta game, I've been on the re-sign this guy, and whatever it was at that point, 20 million after the Atlanta game, 25 million the next game. The longer we wait, he's going to end up being a $40 million quarterback, and that's not hyperbole. That's what these dudes are getting paid. He's playing like a top 5, top 7 quarterback. He's going to make the Pro Bowl this year. And that's not just because of the fan vote. He deserves to make the Pro Bowl this year. It's going to be more and more expensive, which whatever, make the cap work, and just give him the contract if he wants it, if he even wants to talk right now. Like,
Yeah, you
give
can wait
him.
till after the season though, and I don't think his number is going to go up because the franchise tag is going to stay the same number.
Sure,
and you can just use the franchise tag if
it's
the numbers start getting too big.
It is the trump card that we hold, and that's the way the NFL works. Agree. I think Seattle will want to lock him up for more than a year, and I think Gino will want that too. Which is, to your point, why they probably will be able to come, make it work one way or the other.
Right. All right. Well, with this game, anybody else that you want to make sure that we call out? Did we give enough love to the tight ends? Noah Fant, 4 catches, 42 yards. Oh, see, I know you're excited about that because you laid the wood on Fant.
Adam took the over for over 2.5 receptions. I took the over for over 26.5 yards.
You both win.
But that was absolute smash spot. I mean, look, the stats were right there. 5 out of the last 7 games, he's been over that marker. It was very clear to me that he was going to hit that. And sometimes I'm right. So, but yeah, also big moments, like passing to him I like when we hit our tight ends on first down, like first down stuff. It's an 8-yard gain. It's 12-yard gain. Man, you're in 2nd and 2 and you're like, we're going to pick, even with Tony Jones, the 7th, don't matter. We're going to, even with no blocking and Tony Jones, the 7th, we're going to pick this up. One last thing, Brendan, is I will give some love to Tony Jones because yes, a little bit rough with some drops and stuff like that, but who the hell's Tony Jones? I mean, he did what he had to do. He moved the chain in big portions of the game down the stretch. So got to give some love to our new RB1, Tony Jones.
Yeah. Tony, you do your best while you're in there, and maybe with some preparation, knowing that you're coming into the game. Now, I hope that Walker is fine, and we hear that.
Right.
I don't know what to make of it necessarily because it was questionable to return, but then he was ruled out. So maybe there was something that told them that maybe it wasn't as bad, but then for him to be ruled out, I don't want to read into it too much, but hopefully it's not too much. And Wayne pointing out too, yes, it wasn't just Noah Fant playing well, but we saw some nice plays from Shelby Harris too.
We did, and we saw Drew Lock bouncing in that huddle early.
Shaved the mustache.
Yeah, he shaved the stash. Right, clearly it wasn't a lucky
through
stash.
in a big way. Shaving that mustache, getting the win over the stupid Los Angeles Rams.
That's it. Now I know why ESPN is throttling me with Gillette razor ads. It wasn't for me or you because our beards are glorious. It was just to say, hey, don't forget to talk about Drew Lock. He shaved the stash and you guys won, you big dum-dums. Like that was the karma right there.
There it was. And Dan J also getting a little karma coming in as a YouTube member. So nice. Welcome to the flock to Dan.
That's freaking awesome. That is awesome. Hey, hey, Brandon, winning is better than losing, right? This was, we were prepping for this. Like, I will go on by like 7:15-ish. And at that point we were down 3 still, but like, this might be tragic or it might be so friggin' fun and hopeful. We got so friggin' fun and hopeful. What a big W. And now we get to ride into this week and hey, let's just keep that momentum going and bring all this good juju back to the PNW because I cannot wait to get out there, dude. I'm so fired up.
I'm fired up. Can't wait for it. Dan says, hey guys, been a freeloader for far too long over here in England. Love the content. Nwosu and Taylor had a couple of decent plays. Yeah, got to give credit to Taylor for a sack late in the game. Also, Nwosu coming up with a fumble that bounced right into the arms. Yeah. I don't know where our fumble luck. It wasn't in this game. Not good fumble luck for the Seahawks, but what are you going to do? And yes, Clinton going to be making the trek over to the game for the Carolina Panthers. Adam going to be coming to town too. I'm going to be flying over there. So hopefully we can get all of the flock together there on Sunday after the game.
Yeah, I think we'll put the word out on the Ring of Honor. We'll put the word out on Discord for sure, like where we'll be, before. I'm coming in hot. I'm literally landing that morning. So like I land, I'm going to zip up there. But then after the game where we can hang out, maybe have a pint or two and hopefully enjoying. Well, either way, we'll enjoy each other's company. And I won't say too much, but enjoy our Seattle Seahawks in this 2022 season. Hey, 12 weeks in, we're 7-5. Who would have thunk it, right, Brandon? We're 7-5, man. Not bad.
7-5, and coming off a 27-23 victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Thanks for all the members of the flock. Thanks for everybody tuning in to this live stream. And I think with that, Clinton,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.